Yo, I don't hear nobody else speaking on it, so I'm gonna speak on it. It's mad interesting how people are pushing this narrative about guys talking to younger chicks, not realizing those guys are literally trying to groom those younger chicks. There's no way, as a 40-year-old, as a 50-year-old, as a 35-year-old, you should be talking to a woman that's 10 years younger than you. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. Y'all be like, the maturity level is different and whatnot. But y'all not talking to the woman for her maturity level at age 25. She's more mature for her age. Why are you talking to a girl that's 25? Why don't you just talk to a girl that's 35 that's mature? Like, it's interesting because everybody's using this language as a way to avoid. I don't want to deal with a woman who has relationship trauma. I don't want to. What you're doing is trying to groom a woman before she goes through those experiences, because you have relationship trauma that you're trying to project onto that woman based on your relationship with your mommy, and nobody's talking about it. Like, bruh, man, it's mad wild because all these insecure, emotionally unstable males, boys, are using the fact that they have money, or using the fact that they have resources, and trying to use those resources as a way to leverage the woman into doing what they want the woman into doing to do. And it's like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But it's rooted in insecurity. Like, y'all need external validation to feel internally good. You need to feel like the woman needs to depend on you and only you in order for you to feel better about yourself. And the craziest thing is, the moment the woman shows that she don't know no longer needs you the way that you thought you needed to be, you needed, or she needed you. The moment you feel like you're losing her because you can't use your leverage of money and knowledge and understanding, she's aware of things now because you try to groom her to understand, to look to you as validation, to look to you as your everything, because deep down inside, you never felt like you was enough because your mom didn't validate you. So, bruh, it's so interesting because y'all are 11 years older, 12 years older than these women, and using the information that you have and the resources that you have to take advantage of those women based on them not having knowledge of what's happening. Like, man, it's so interesting. And the craziest part, this is what I really wanted to get to. The craziest part is how y'all treat the women after they no longer do what you want them. Y'all put y'all hands on. Y'all be beating these women because they didn't listen to you. Y'all be beating these women because they raised their voice at you. Y'all be beating these women. Bruh, it's crazy. Y'all really will change how you interact with the woman based on her not validating your insecurities. Man, it's mad wild, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about love and relationships and marriage. Bruh, y'all don't even understand there's a such thing as marital rape. Like, bruh, it's mad wild how we live in this world where people, especially guys nowadays on the internet, tries to use words to avoid from the fact that they're insecure. You're just insecure. It's not that you love this woman. You just don't love yourself. And the fact that you don't love yourself makes you want to crave and be with her because deep down, again, that little boy inside of you that was craving for mommy's attention, that was craving for mommy's validation, never felt like he was good enough. So what he did was, I'm going to recreate the same scenario that I experienced as a kid, but I'm going to be in control. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to groom the woman so the woman won't end up being like my mom. But the thing is, you're blaming your mom for the pain that you're experiencing due to the fact that you never learned to properly regulate your own emotions because you don't feel like you're enough based on the story of what you experienced as a kid, not the reality of what's happening in this current moment. So now here y'all are, everybody's pursuing love and pursuing all these trauma bonding things based on that's rooted in hurt. Literally, that's rooted in hurt, wanting to feel chosen, wanting to feel special, wanting to feel picked, wanting to have a special connection with this one person, wanting this person to be mine and only mine. Bro, that's literally rooted in insecurities. That's it. You don't love that woman. You just don't love yourself. You like the escape that woman provides because you attached a story of her making you feel good based on the fact that you didn't feel good within yourself. So you didn't feel like you was enough. So you had to attach these feelings to somebody else because you wasn't good enough to produce those feelings within yourself, not realizing you allow yourself to feel the certain emotions based on your perspective of the experience. Therefore, it's all based on you. The woman's not making you feel that way. You're allowing yourself to feel that way, and you're associating those feelings to the women because you don't feel like you're enough within yourself, period. Man, it gets even worse because the women nowadays believe if a guy is not insecure, that means he don't love you or love them. And it's like, Ladies, you only want to be chose because you don't love yourself. Insecure people are only attracted to insecure people. You don't feel secure within yourself, so therefore you look to somebody else to find security in. It's a trauma reaction. So you think this person loves you, but in reality, they don't love you because they don't love themselves. And it's mad interesting because women now believe that being possessed means that a guy cares about you, when being possessed means a guy doesn't actually care about you. That's why he wants to possess you as his own, because he's insecure. He want to possess you because he don't want to be with himself. And y'all think that's love, when in reality love is freedom. Love is allowing a person to be who they are without trying to change them or wanting to restrict them or wanting them to be something different other than who they are, so that you can feel better about yourself. Y'all think love is, this guy doesn't accept me for who I am, but he wants to be in a relationship with me so that I can change to be who he wants me to be. And then when I don't change who he wants me to be, he beats me, he punishes me. And that means he loves me. And it's like, no, that's not love. That's not love at all. Wanting to be in a relationship with another person means you don't actually love that person for who they are. Because if you needed to be in a relationship with them in order for you to stay true to who you are, in order to accept them for who they are, that means you don't truly accept them if you need to be in a relationship to do that. Why be in a, it's a, well, I want a sense of security. If you need a sense of security in a relationship, that means the relationship is not rooted in security. Like, do y'all not get these things? It's like, when you love a person, you accept them for who they are. You don't want them to change to be something that they're not, as a way to restrict them from being that way so you can feel better about yourself. It's all trauma. Trauma, 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 trauma. And the craziest thing about this is the fact that there's not a lot of women that's telling women the truth. There's not a lot of women who's telling women, hey, you don't want to get married. Why do you need to get married? Y'all talking about the family dynamic. You need to be married to have... Man, do y'all not know how the court system work? How the government work when it comes to... Come on, y'all don't... That's the thing about what I'm realizing about this internet stuff, is people don't actually research this information to have an understanding of it. They just go by what they heard somebody else say. Bruh, do y'all not understand how the government system work? Y'all are telling people to get married and then watch what happens when they get a divorce. Y'all don't even get it, because when people get a divorce, they be so at each other that they have to go through the courts. So the courts make a decision. So the government makes the decision. Y'all, bruh, I'm not even going to get into that, but it's so wild how we live in a society where y'all are pushing this agenda, but y'all don't even understand what y'all pushing and why y'all even pushing it. All right, I'm done with this rant. The last thing I'm going to say, though, ladies, please be mindful. Stop. If a dude want to be in a relationship with you, red flag 100%, because it's not a matter of being in a relationship that he wants. Is more so to control and restrict you from being a certain way. You got to understand. For me, I'm going to tell you how I work. How I am doesn't change based on a verbal, you're my girlfriend. Oh, so since you're my girlfriend, therefore I'm going to start being this way. No, how I am as a person doesn't change, period, because this is who I am. Like, yeah, I don't need you to be a certain way in order for me to be me. Like, that's weird. If I have to be in a relationship with you in order for me to stay true to myself, that means I'm being fake. Why do I need to be in a relationship with you if I'm going to stay true to me? Being me means I'm going to live my life the way I'm living my life. I'm not going to change me for you. If I need to change me for you, that means you don't accept me for me. And I accept me for me. So why do I want you to accept me for me when you don't even accept? You don't accept you. Like, bruh, it's so interesting. I'm looking at these folks and having these conversations with people, and it's just like, damn, do y'all not get it? Everybody knows multiple horrible relationships that didn't work out, multiple relationships that women were abused, multiple relationships where their baby daddy did this, and it's like, but yet everybody's still desiring to be in a relationship. And it's like, why are y'all still chasing? Because a fantasy idea that propaganda, like they showed y'all based on propaganda to sell more rings, that they told y'all that that's why the commercials are the way they are. It's an AIDS commercial, but they happy and go lucky. Every kiss begins with K is the couples in water and kissing and y'all desiring a fantasy of what it means to be in a relationship, and not the reality of what it actually is. The reality of what it is relationships, being in a relationship, it don't work. You know what works? Connecting with a person from a place of love because you love you. Y'all don't. It's crazy because you ask a person, are you insecure? And 100% of the people that I want to be in a relationship are insecure. And it's like you're insecure because you don't feel internally secure within yourself. So you're only desiring a relationship based on the security that you're placing in being in a relationship so you don't have to be with you. You don't actually want to be in a relationship. You just don't want to be alone. You don't want to be in a relationship, or you don't actually want to be in a relationship. You just want to feel safe because you don't feel safe within yourself. That's it. You're attaching the story to the meaning. You're attaching the story to the bodily sensation that you feel. You think the story is, oh, being in a relationship means I'll feel more secure within myself, when it's the actual opposite. That's why the domestic violence rate is so high. That's why women think in all these podcasts, they tell you men are providers and protectors, but most of the women who are hurt by the protector man that they were with because the dude is insecure. You're more likely to be hurt by your boyfriend, quote unquote, or your husband than you are a random person on the streets. It's statistically proven. But yet, everybody's desiring to be in a trauma bonding ship. That's what it is. It ain't even a relate, because y'all not, yeah, it is a relationship because y'all relating through trauma and trying to control and manipulating and lying to people. Like you literally have to lie to a person to tell them you're in a relationship with them. I'm only committed to you as long as you're committed to me. If you're only committed to me as long as I'm committed to you, that means you're not committed to me. What are you saying? Well, I believe in commitment. If you believed in commitment, why aren't you still with your ex? Well, he did something that I didn't like, so we broke. So you don't believe in commitment because your only commitment is to yourself and nobody. But hey, y'all not ready for these conversations, because I realize most of these conversations, most of the people who wants to be in a relationship, most of the people who's desiring all these things is in denial. And it's a childish thing. You only desire these things based on how you perceive them as a kid and not as an adult. And your perception as a kid was rooted in fantasy, literally. That's the imagination. Logic only comes in as a way to punish fantasy. It's almost as a way to shut down fantasy. Everybody's logical. Everybody's has an imagination. What happens is we get disconnected based on the environment in which we were raised, and we learn that certain aspects of ourselves we need to suppress. And when we suppress those certain aspects, we create certain fantasy aspects as a way to overcompensate for the fact that we're suppressing those parts of ourselves. And that's why y'all think y'all want to be in a relationship, when in reality, you just want to feel safe, because when you were a kid, you didn't feel safe at home, and you associated feeling safe to having a family because you felt unsafe with your family. So it's like, if I create my own family, then there'll be safety in that, not realizing the trauma starts based on your relationship to you, not your relationship to your family. It's not your relationship to another person, your relationship to yourself. Don't get me wrong. We go through experiences and people hurt us. But the reality of it, especially as adults, a lot of the hurt that you're associating to the person that you're experiencing now is not the hurt that the person caused you that you're experiencing now. It's the hurt that you've experienced in the past that you never actually learned to heal from. And you're using that hurt as a way to react from how you feel and take out what you wish you could have said to the person who hurt you back then, or what you wish you could have done to the person who hurt you back then. And you're taking it out on the person now in front of you, when in reality they didn't hurt you, they didn't cut you. So it's understanding that a lot of this stuff is rooted in trauma, rooted in hurt, and y'all are still pursuing it as a way to understand, pursue pursuing love. But the thing is, love casts out fear. So when you love a person, it's not rooted in fear, but you only want to be in a relationship with the person out of fear. I don't want to lose this person. I don't want to lose this experience. I want to hold them down. I love them so much. Y'all attach the fact that you're so insecure, you don't feel like you're enough within yourself to another person, that you believe you actually love the other person, when it's the lack of love that you have for yourself that makes you think you love the other person, when in reality you just don't love you. So you being in that relationship with that other person is really you just abandoning you because you don't feel like you're good enough. And the best way you learn to heal yourself, or to cope with you not feeling like you're good enough, was to seek, if I don't feel seen and heard, I'm going to act out. I'm going to try to get attention to make me feel more secure. I want to feel seen and heard. When a kid doesn't feel seen and heard, that means a kid doesn't matter. Not mattering means you're about to die. That's death.